Hello guys, I have a new camera and this is my first time filming with it, so I'm very excited and I hope everything looks okay, everything sounds okay. I'm very excited about it and I hope it looks better than my old one. We shall see. But I am so excited about today's video. Today's video is very much inspired by Ellen. I will leave her channel down below. I saw her doing this video and I thought it was such a fun idea where we basically guess my 5-star reviews based on other people's 1-star reviews of that book, if that makes sense. So what I've done, I've given a list of some of my 5-star reads to my mum, and my mum has very kindly gone on to Goodreads, found some 1-star reviews of my 5-star books, and she screenshotted them and sent them over, and I think there's 3 for each, so we're going to read them together one by one, try and take a guess at which 5-star book we think it is, and then she's actually given me the answers. Look how cute they are. Look how cute. She's put them all on these little pegs and given me the answers for each book. So when we've taken our guess, I'm going to open the answer and reveal it. So first things first, for my 5-star reads, because I thought it would be fun if you guys knew the kind of list of books I was deciding between, the list of books that I gave my mum to choose between. I think there was like 17 or 18 in total on here, and I believe she chose 8 of them altogether. So our list of 5-star reads, we have Our Infinite Fates, Powerless, Powerful, The Prison Healer, Magnolia Parks, A Long Way Home, Just for the Summer, The Teacher, Ward D, 7 Year Slip, Happy Place, Where the Crawdads Sing, All In, We Were Liars, The Silent Patient, The Ballad of Never After, 7 Summers, and If He Had Been With Me. So that's our kind of a list that we're choosing between. Okay, I'm gonna actually move up a bit so I can put the reviews here for you. Also, before we get started, just want to put a little disclaimer here that this video is purely for fun. It's all for fun. And I totally appreciate that everybody has different experiences with books, and that's one of the things that I absolutely love about reading. So I did just want to mention, it's all for fun. It's all for fun around here. Okay, first 1-star review. I fucking hated it. There's at least 20 instances of blank being a fucking terribly naive and stupid character. I'm not so sure I've read the same book you all did. Okay. Okay, so the blank is because it's a name and that would just give the whole thing away. So that's why that's been blanked out. Naive and stupid character. I'm going to look at my list to see. Okay, I think this might be the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. What's her name? The only character that I can kind of think was really quite naive is Evangeline in The Ballad of Never After. That's the only one that I kind of think, but then the actual word itself doesn't look long enough to be Evangeline. So I don't know, let's go on to our second review. Not every love is meant to be, yeah, you don't say. I don't know where to start with this book. Firstly, I'm so glad I didn't read this in public because there were many instances of head slapping, eye rolling, book slamming, hysterical fake crying, talking to / slandering the characters like they could hear me, and talking to my non-existent audience about the characters. This might make you think this book was a wild ride of chemistry, adventure and magic. It wasn't. I'm sticking with The Ballad of Never After. That still kind of links in, I think. Chemistry, adventure and magic. I would say that still fits. Fuck you. I wanted to be happy. This book made me sad and annoyed. Okay, I'm gonna go for The Ballad of Never After as my final answer. No way! Wait. Why is this actually low-key hard? My instinct is saying The Ballad of Never After, so that's what I'm gonna go with. Okay, let's find number 1 in our little answers. Let's reveal. The Ballad of Never After. Yes, okay, we got 1 point. We got 1 point. I don't know when this became a point system, but it has. Yay, this is so fun. Okay, first 1-star review. Seriously, what the fuck? Okay, doesn't give me much to work with. First thing that's coming to mind is like maybe We Were Liars for that one, maybe? Or Ward D, maybe one of more of the psychological thriller types. Let's go to the second one. The weakest and most boring book I've ever read from this author. Okay, so it's an author that has other books. That's a little clue. No development of characters, boring dialogues, repetitions, and worst of all, completely predictable plot with a small twist at the end that wasn't worth it. That's making me near maybe Ward D, because Freedom of Adam has so many books, so that would check out. Repetitions though. predictable plot with a small twist at the end. Silent Patient, but then I think The Silent Patient has quite a big twist, and also I don't think he has many other books that he's written before that. Okay, let's read the last one. Why is everybody in this book a damn predator? Okay. I'm gonna go with The Teacher by Frida McFadden. That's kind of cemented that one. That's my final guess. Number 2. The Teacher. Yes. Okay. This is so fun because I feel like you guys can play along with me as well. Okay, third one. DNF, because what the fuck happened to the stakes? Okay, so this is giving kind of fantasy-esque. Low, verging on non-existent is what they were. There was zero tension, no angst, and there doesn't need to be war and peace, but a lack of conflict will have me falling asleep. I keep waiting for it to get better, keep waiting for my mind to stop wandering. Well, that didn't happen. Ooh! Okay, so the fantasies we have Our Infinite Fates, we have Powerless, Powerful, The Prison Healer. I think they're kind of the only... We have The Ballad of Never After, but we've obviously already had that one. Low stakes. Probably The Prison Healer is like the lowest stakes that there are, but then again, not really. Let's read the second one. DNF 30%, I despise insta-love. 5 minutes after meeting each other, he's already calling her by a nickname and 10 pages were wasted describing the meal he's cooking. This just isn't for me. Okay. Okay, I think I might know what this one is. I think I might. Insta-love, okay, so I think I was wrong with going down the fantasy route. I think this is a romance, and it's a romance with a bit of a twist, which is why I think the first one said about low stakes. And the fact that they've said describing the meal he's cooking, there's only one male main character that I can think on this list that is a cook. I'm not going to say yet, we're going to read the last one just so you guys have time to guess as well. Somebody should put literally one sentence. Hate this stupid lemon book. Why does that make me giggle so much? So my guess for this one is 7 Year Slip. 7 Year Slip, let's have a look. Number 3. We have 7 Year Slip. I don't even think you can see that, but it says 7 Year Slip. Okay, next one. Oof, this book sorely needs an editor and a more original plot. Do you know what? That's actually so bad because I think I know what that is from just that one. Which is kind of vague, but I know that a lot of people say this about this particular book. But let's read the second one. DNF at 21%. I'm sorry, I couldn't get into this. It was like a Wattpad crossover of Disney Descendants and The Hunger Games written by a 12-year-old on her pink iPhone 5C. I think I know what this is. This book might as well be called Blue Eyes or Ocean Orbs because judging from the obscene amount of times they were mentioned, they're practically the main character. That, I think, is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. Number 4. We got it right. We got it right. The thing about Blue Eyes being mentioned is actually so true. It's actually so true. But the thing that I didn't even put together until literally the third book is that Kai and Payton's last names are each other's eye colour. Like, what even? What even? How did we not realise that? That's crazy. Book number 5. I hate it and I skipped a lot of paragraphs, but it was addicting like soap dramas and I want to know what will happen. But just what the F is that ending? Just why? Kind of think maybe Magnolia Parks is like, could be considered soap dramas because there is a lot of drama in that book. There was no reason for this shit to be 80 something chapters if only they went to therapy. Also could very much be Magnolia Parks. I would say everyone in this book needs therapy, but they literally go to therapy and it doesn't do shit. Fair point. No, okay. But I do have Magnolia Parks and Magnolia Parks Long Way Home both on the list that I gave. And I'm going to say that this one is Long Way Home because I don't remember them going to therapy in the first book. And also there was a bit of a clue in the first one that said that ending, oh no, because they both end really drastically. Which book did they go to therapy in? I'm going to say that it's Long Way Home. That's my guess. I feel like this could be the first one that I potentially get wrong. Final answer, Magnolia Park's Long Way Home. I'm gonna let you look first. It's upside down. Magnolia Park's Long Way Home, yay! I actually can't believe that I can differentiate between the two. I mean, I know I wasn't sure, but still. I can't think of another book that's disappointed me to this extent. This book felt lazy. I wanted to love this so much. The premise seemed incredible to me, but it's very much I have concepts of a plan, and then said plan is poorly executed. This story could have been so rich and fulfilling. Okay, so something that has a really cool concept. Our Infinite Fates has a really cool concept. The Prison Healer. Let's read the next one. God, I'm so annoyed that I did not enjoy reading this. The beautiful cover and the positive reviews really drew me to this, but I thought the story was just so bizarre. I could not connect to any of the characters and did not feel any chemistry between the two protagonists at all. Okay, this I actually kind of think might be Our Infinite Fates, because I remember feeling a similar thing, obviously not to this extreme because that was a 5-star read for me, but I do remember wishing that we had more between the two main characters when I was reading that, especially towards the start. But I obviously ended up absolutely loving that book. But I can see how somebody might think that, because I literally thought that at the start of it. Visceral disappointment, beyond beautiful concept, such explosive potential, but completely ruined by juvenile, superficial writing. Ooh. See, I would say the writing was very poetic. That was one of the things that I absolutely loved about that book. So that's kind of a shock if this is Our Infinite Fates. That's making me doubt it. Completely lacking nuance, very poor exclamations of love. Our love is stronger than anything. Shut the fuck up. Have you read any good book ever? Some of the most lackluster, unfeeling and heartless prose I've ever read. My heart is aching from the lost potential of this. Okay, because they mentioned the prose, I'm going to stick with Our Infinite Fates. I'm going to stick with it. Our Infinite Phase. Oh my goodness, we've literally got 6 for 6 so far. That's incredible. Next one. I'm sorry, I hated this. The whole time I stuck through because I thought, wow, everyone says this has a good twist, I'll wait. It was not. And the final twist was literally a contradiction of things from earlier in the book. Maybe a thriller, but that could be a fantasy equally. But then I made this mistake before. I said I thought it was a fantasy and it was actually a romance. So let's just read the second one. Blah. This felt like a cheesy 90s horror movie, which is fun. Yeah, but man, once I got to the big reveal and end part, I was just over it. Cheesy 90s horror movie. Horror movie? I feel like none of the books on here give horror movie vibes. Maybe Ward D is kind of horror movie-esque. Let's read the last one. Blank always writes like she's on coke, but this time it's in a bad way. Okay, so female author. That narrows it down because I was thinking Silent Patient, but it can't be that. Always, I'm gonna have to say Ward D. That's the one that's making the most sense to me. Sabrina McFadden also has a lot of books, so the whole thing about always writes like she's on coke. And that's the one that I can think is closest to like a 90s horror movie-esque. I'm gonna say Ward D. I'm gonna say Ward D for number 7. Yay! Ward D! 7 for 7. Can we make it 8 for 8? Last one. This actually makes me sad that this is the last one because I've had so much fun. Truly one of the most boring books I've ever read. Super repetitive and it was a chore to get through. Considered not finishing it a few times. The only good part of the book was literally the last 2 pages. I don't know. Last 2 pages. I have never encountered less chemistry between 2 main characters in any book I've ever encountered. Bilbo Baggins and Smaug have more sexual tension. Oh my god. Okay. Less chemistry between 2 main characters. So it can't be Our Infinite Fates because I've already had that one. That's the only one that was kind of more obviously less tension between them, I feel like. We've got 7 Summers on there. We have if he had been with me, but I feel like they don't really work with either of them. Let's read the last one. Oh boy, there's a lot to say about this book. The main character is literally the most annoying character I have ever come across. Throughout the entire book, she is constantly crying, panicking, and being completely helpless. In fact, she does very little on her own. For every major conflict that requires her skills, the male love interest has to save her. She literally does nothing. Okay, I'm gonna guess. It could be powerful. Because Adina is a more gentler character. But then I think, did she really have trials and tribulations that she had to get through? I think purely for the fact that it says every major conflict that requires her skills, the male love interest has to save her, is making me think it's the prison healer. That's my thought process. Okay, we're gonna say the prison healer as our last guest. Yeah! It's the prison healer. Oh my goodness, I actually can't believe that I got all of those right. I actually can't believe that. I think I know these books better than I thought I did. I really enjoyed that. That was so much fun to do. And I hope you guys had fun playing along with me as well. I do obviously have more 5-star reads as well, so I could do this again if you guys would be interested in that. Let me know. But that actually brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. If you're still here watching up until this point, you know what to do. Leave a little star emoji down below so that I know. And I really hope that you enjoyed watching, and I will hopefully see you in my next video.